Welcome to Business Reporter's Best of British campaign. Retail, manufacturing, healthcare and logistics. What do they have in common? They're all trying to keep track of a constantly shifting landscape. Inventory, patients, processes, supply chains. Details pile up and executives often feel like they're drowning in them. But there is a way forward. Behind me is more than a showroom. It's a portal where you step in burdened with chaos and walk out into clarity. Liam, lovely to meet you.
Good to see you, Alice. How are you doing?
Great.
Shall we take a walk through?
Lovely. So what do you do here?
So we're here at our Innovation and Customer Experience Centre. We've been open about 2.5 years, and this is a venue that we created in order to be able to invite our customers in, let them understand what technologies we have available to help them solve their business problems and their challenges. But let me introduce you to my colleagues.
Gentlemen, great to meet you.
Thank you.
So, talking of those problems, what's getting in the way of operational transparency in industries like healthcare, logistics, retail and so on?
Yes, all these industries are really complex, and having data and visibility of that data and visibility of supply chain is absolutely key. You find a lot of these businesses have outdated tech, it's not connected. So connecting that tech, providing that visibility to allow them to make informed decisions is absolutely key. A good example for retail is a pair of trousers manufactured in one country, then delivered to a big distribution centre, maybe in another country, and then it needs to get to the store. So for a retailer, having visibility of where that product is in its journey is absolutely key to make sure they've got the right product in the right place at the right time for their customers.
Okay, so we've got healthcare, we've got retail, as you mentioned, logistics. What other kind of industries would benefit from this solution?
Any industries really that we work with, we're agnostic effectively. So whether, like you say, healthcare, retail, manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, the technology is adaptable to be utilised in various different verticals to solve different challenges. So our job really is to make sure that we are promoting or demonstrating the right technologies for our end users to solve those challenges that they have.
Once they've got the technology implemented, we also help them make sure they carry on getting the most out of it, because the visibility that Mark was talking about in the supply chain, once you've got it in there, you've got to make sure it's available, the uptime's there, the security's there, and that you always have all that information at your fingertips to make sure your business is running well.
So it's great to be here. I'm really looking forward to the tour. Where are we going to start?
Should we start with healthcare?
Okay. So Peter, the NHS is an area where there's literally no room for compromise. Where exactly are they struggling at the moment?
We all know that the NHS is facing unprecedented challenges. The volumes of patients are in the millions. There are hundreds of thousands of patients on hospital wards at any one time. The services are learning to integrate between primary, secondary and social care, and the demands are that much more than they've ever been before. The key to the successful outcomes for the patient is that everything within their journey is traceable.
And how are they managing at the moment? Because it sounds like a complex process.
There isn't a single solution that all trusts are adopting. There's nothing generic in place. You can experience a pen and paper approach right through to cutting edge RFID technology that's capturing every single movement and touch point that is there within that patient's journey. And because of that, there is a disparity between the outcomes for the patient.
You've obviously got a solution which makes a huge difference. Perhaps we could have a look at it in action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Peter, so explain what we've got here.
Okay, so imagine you're a patient and you've been referred by your doctor for elective surgery, and in this instance, a hip replacement. As part of that referral process, you would receive notification from the hospital of your appointment. Embedded in that letter or via that app or via that text message, however you receive that communication, embedded is a QR code, and that QR code is uniquely associated to you. By the time you arrive at the hospital and you're presented with an interactive screen with an inbuilt scanner, you open up the QR code. On this instance, it's on a smart device, and you scan in. And what that's done then is that's registered your attendance at the hospital. That entire process takes seconds, and it reduces the burden on whoever is working at that sort of reception desk. It also manages, or it has the potential to manage, appointment times, so that you're going to minimise the amount of people who are in a waiting room.
So I've now scanned my QR code, whether it was on my phone or letter or whatever. What happens next?
Okay, so it's registered you in attendance. It's informed the various functions behind this sequence that you're in attendance, and that therefore they need to be prepared to receive you. And then the printer will print a wristband for you. This wristband will be your digital identification throughout your patient journey. And therefore, as you go through each touch point throughout your care, it updates as you're scanned into each location or via each healthcare professional or medication or treatment that you receive. And in addition, there is an RFID tag built in, so your movements can be monitored, and it's a way of just confirming that you are where you need to be and you're being attended by the right volume of healthcare professionals.
So how do the healthcare professionals, pharmacists and so on, how do they interact with this?
All the professionals you mentioned would have a handheld reader. It's essentially a smart mobile phone with the same sort of dimensions. It has a scan capability, so they would scan the wristband and therefore register their interaction with that particular patient, so they can access patient records, they can update whatever their interaction has been. So everybody who's involved in the care of that particular patient will have visibility in real time of every interaction. Your time in the hospital, and therefore right up to the discharge and your recovery, would be that much more swifter and more efficient because everything has been captured behind you.
Brilliant. Peter, thank you very much. I'm going to go to the next section now.
Shall I introduce you to?
Yeah, perfect. So Mark, we're in this retail environment here and you've got a t-shirt in your hand, but we'll come to that in a second. But first of all, talk to me about some of the biggest challenges that retailers have today.
Well, some of the biggest challenges creating confidence and convenience for customers. So the customers want to walk into a store or retail shop and know that what they've walked in for is on the shelf and it's in stock. And what you find is a lot of the retailers are running disconnected technology, which means the data's not there to share with their customers, which can be messy and lead to bad customer experience.
Well, we're surrounded by a lot of technology here. Perhaps you can explain how this works and how that interacts with that customer experience.
Sure. So I'll first off describe why we created this proof of concept for one of our retailers. So this is all to do with the returns process, which is a really costly thing for retailers taking returns back into their business. So a typical returns process today would be you or I would walk back in with our t-shirt to a shop where we've purchased that item. We'd queue at a till point to get the item scanned and to get the refund put back on our card or via the receipt, and we wait 3 or 4 days for the refund, whatever that looks like. This is about a frictionless, unmanned self-serve kiosk using RFID. Imagine I've brought this t-shirt, I've got a loyalty card, I've walked back into the shop to make my return. I walk up to the kiosk, tell the kiosk I'm here to return my item. I scan my loyalty card. So it's just picked up that this is myself. Am I returning some items? Yes. And if I just pop these into the returns bin behind you. And as you'll see immediately, what this screen is displaying is that I have returned this particular t-shirt. So that's real-time information for the customer. The customer has immediately, or will at this point, immediately receive an email confirming the refund, as you see on the phone there. So real-time information back to the customer, great customer experience. They feel safe and secure that the t-shirt they returned has been recorded. They're going to get their refund. and great for the retailer themselves because they now know that item is back in stock. So from an end-to-end customer experience, it's fantastic.
So I understand you've shown your loyalty card, so clearly the system knows it's you. But how does it connect to the T-shirt? How does it know that that's your T-shirt that you've put in the bin?
Sure. So it's using a technology called RFID. So RFID is a radio frequency designed to pick up data. It's capturing data in the same way as scanning a barcode is, but you're not physically having to scan the barcode. It's picking up the tag, which allows the retailer to scan thousands of things in a second. So for stock take, for returns, for stock availability in the warehouse, it's absolutely essential. So because the technology is connected, at the point you've brought that T-shirt or purchased that T-shirt using your loyalty card, that item is completely unique to you. So as soon as that drops into the T-shirt drops into the returns bin there, it knows that T-shirt was purchased by you as the customer.
Okay, so Liam, I've done my homework. I've got my trolley, I've got my box with the stuff inside. Now what?
So imagine we are at the loading bay of a warehouse. All we're going to do is we're going to walk through this gateway and the magic will happen.
Okay. So Liam, I had my trolley there. I had boxes on it. I walked in, I didn't have to do anything, no one scanned anything, I put the box on the shelf, and that seemed to be the end of the operation. So talk me through what happened there.
So as you walk through, inside that package is a number of items that have all got a unique RFID tag as part of them. And utilising the technology with RFID is read those wirelessly and invisible to you. So rather than somebody having to manually scan or open the box in the first instance and then scan everything individually, the RFID technology is seeing all of those and reporting back on it. So what we saw up here was the stock levels go up accordingly. So you've saved somebody an abundance of time for unpacking, manually counting, and also checking that everything they were expecting to be receipted in has been receipted in as well. That's all done in a matter of seconds.
And will that work going back out again?
It will. So if this was the back of a retail environment, for example, and I've just receipted 20 T-shirts in like we've just done, when I then move that from my back of store into my front of store, the stock will then decrease on the inventory in the warehouse and then increase what is out in the shop front, all seamlessly and all without very much human interaction.
Today we've been to your healthcare area, retail, now warehousing and logistics. So what happens once it is all established within an organisation? Then what?
So then we would offer them our fully managed service, helping them reduce their downtime and keeping their critical systems running, making sure that we optimise their equipment as we move forwards, and helping them really just focus on what their core business is, and we will make sure that their technology is working the best that it can for them. So we can help people from day one through picking what they need, helping them scope it, configuring it and installing it, and getting it up and running in their environment until they're ready to move on to the next iteration of technology, in which case we can help them scope that, pick it and implement it again and support them through that generation as well.
Tags, barcodes, QR codes and RFIDs help you find the needle in the haystack. In this world, transparency is the norm.